Hey guys, well, welcome to another edition of the Maestro. Today, I think it's a pretty special piece for you guys. The 2008 Aprilia Tuono 1000R. This bike is one of those forgotten gems that are just sitting out there waiting for the right person to pick it up and show everybody what old school technology can really do. So here we go, my own personal Tuono 1000R, and if you guys would be so kind, just a 1 or 2 clicks is all we ask. Just please like and subscribe. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Maestro. Today we're going to be road testing my own personal 2008 Aprilia Tuono 1000R, the second generation V-twin Tuono. So just a little bit of background, I owned a 2004 Tuono, and the Tuono was really the model. Aprilia set the stage for the fully competent sporting naked bikes, and so the Tuono originally came out, I believe, was 2003. I had a 2004. This particular, the V2 second generation Tuono, came out, I believe, in 2006 and went through 2009. This is a 2008. I bought it about a year ago with 15,000 miles on it. It now has 25,000 miles on it, so I put 10,000 miles on this bike in the last year. It came with the Ohlins suspension. My buddy Matt, who I bought this from, and we've been texting and talking back and forth really for the last year. Good guy up in northern Washington where I got this bike. Put the Ohlins suspension on it, as well as some aftermarket reservoirs, some nice levers, carbon fiber bits, rear sets, a tail section off an RSV 1000. So the bike was in really good shape. It ran great. It was cosmetically excellent, and I paid like about $5,500 for this bike. Now, you may ask the question, Herb, I thought you had a V4 Tuono, a 2017 V4 Tuono factory. Haven't we seen that in your videos? And you would be correct. So then it begs the question, okay, why would you want a inferior or a older edition of the Tuono when you have arguably the best road bike in the world? And I would be able to substantiate that argument pretty easily. And the reason is, I guess it's twofold is the reason. One is these Aprilia Tuonos with this V-twin Rotax engine are known to be super reliable. I've seen 70, 80, 90, 100,000 miles on these engines. And so with that, you want a fast road bike, a reliable bike, one that you didn't pay a ton of money for, so you could just roll the miles on this thing, still have a ton of fun, and not worry about depreciation, not worry about reliability issues, and just use it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use this in 2025, coming up in 2025, as my sport touring machine, because you want something that's comfortable, and this is actually a little bit bigger, a little bit more stretched out, a little bit more upright than my V4 Tuono. And if I have a regular seat on the back, so I'll just put some soft luggage on this, and I'm good to go for 3, 4, 5 days all around Northern California, and it can still get it done with some of the best sport bikes. At the same time, it's still comfortable. At the same time, I don't worry about putting a lot of mileage on this. I plan to keep this bike probably another 2-3 years. So at 10,000 miles a year, I'll have 40, 50, 60,000 miles on the bike, and I still could probably sell it for $3,500, $4,000. We are up on the crest. I'm at the bottom of the crest here. I I hate to tell you guys in the Midwest and the East Coast, it's December the 3rd. It's about 74, 75 degrees, and the road is in beautiful shape, and we are very fortunate to be here in Southern California. Okay, enough with the advertisement, but come on out and ride this road anytime from, probably now it's going to start to get chilly, but anytime from April till now. Boy, what a great trip for you guys on the East Coast to come out, rent a bike from Riders Share, and you can just rent whatever you want. You want an S1000RR, you want a V4S, you want a Multistrada, you want a Tuono, just rent it from V4S, and we'll hook up with you guys, and we'll do some riding, we'll do some videos. It'd be great to see some of my old Goombas from New Jersey coming out here and riding with us. Okay, enough for the advertisement. Back to the Tuono. The other reason why you might want to pick up a Tuono like this, and they're so cheap, and there's two versions. This is the standard version, and then there's also the factory version, which comes with, I believe, forged wheels and Ohlins suspension. And if you could find one of those in great shape with an exhaust and everything else, just run for it, because they're still only $5,500, $6,500 max for a low mileage mint condition. And I can tell you what, for the price versus performance aspect of this kind of bike, I don't think you can beat it. So if you're a young guy or you're a little bit slow on funds right now, what a great bike. You're going to see in these videos that this thing is running with some of the best bikes out there, and even outrunning some of the best bikes out there. 5,500 bucks, looks great, tons of performance, very reliable. I think it's the best performance value on the market today. As a matter of fact, I saw one a couple of months ago, under 10,000 miles, Akrapovic exhaust. It was the white checker that came out, and it was $3,500. And I was sending it all to all my buddies. I probably should have bought it and just put it in the garage, but I have too many bikes as it is. But you can get some incredible deals on these bikes. Okay, this particular bike, it had the Ohlins suspension. The Ohlins suspension, I mean, I'm a big fan of Ohlins. I have a shock. I'm going to throw it on this winter. I bought it for like $250 on eBay. It needed a total refurbishment, so it cost me like 400 bucks. So for $650, I have a virtually brand new Ohlins shock. So that'll almost convert this into the factory version of the Tuono, and I think it'll be great. That being said, the stock regular suspension on this, I have the Sachs shock on here now, and it works pretty good. I mean, I've had this bike for a year. I've had the Ohlins shock for a year, and I haven't bothered to put it on because, I don't know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think the Ohlins will be a little bit better. I know it will. But the Sachs is still pretty good with the Marzocchi front fork. So I wouldn't sweat it if you could find a nice example of this that's not a factory. If you do find a factory, just run after it, because they're spectacular. Anyway, on the exhaust on this bike, as you can see, it came with a Leo Vinci exhaust, dual exhaust, and the Aprilia Tuono. Stock, they quote at 139 horsepower, so maybe this is, you know, in the low to mid 140s, I guess. Tons of mid-range, great grunt, great, unbelievable sound. I don't think there's a better sound than a V-twin at 7, 8, 9,000 RPM. And this is no exception. As you're gonna see in these videos, as this thing is rolling on, it's just a symphony of music coming from. I'm running a Michelin Power Cup 2 front tire and a Michelin GP2 rear tire. In another video, I'll talk a little bit of an update on the Michelin GP2s and where we're at. But I think you're going to see that this thing really, really gets it done. Now, just as a quick little overview, many of the young riders today rely on traction control, wheelie control, ABS, all that stuff. I grew up, you know, with a 1987 GSXR 750, so I had none of this stuff, or a Ninja 900. Was my first bike, and then I graduated to the Ducatis and to the Aprilias and things like that. So I grew up not having to rely or depend on the electronics to save me, if you want to put it that way. And I think that a younger rider who has never experienced a purely analog bike, you'll develop the skills that, and it doesn't have a quick shifter either, obviously. You'll develop incredible skills that will translate to the more modern bikes with the electronics. I mean, I have the 2017 Tuono factory with all the electronics, and I can tell you, if you're a smooth, fast, safe rider, I never see that traction control light coming on, even though they tell me that I'm laying black lines out of every single corner. So this is a purely analog bike. You'll get the most out of it. It'll help you develop your skills to a very high level, and it's just a very smooth, confident, and fairly easy bike to ride. It's not going to do anything crazy on you. It's not going to snap. It has a broad power band, so you can use it. You could use it at medium speeds. You could do it at fast speeds. As I say, sport touring, commuting. If you don't have a lot of funds and you only have enough money for one bike, and you have, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to spend, boy, I'll tell you, I don't think you could do any better than a second generation Tuono. So let's take it out on the road and see if we can put a method to my madness. All right, let's go. Okay, so as always with the Maestro channel, we're going to take the bike out on the road and really show you what this amazing 20-year-old design can really do. As usual, in tow and doing the cinematography is my good friend Gary, also known as Scion, on his 2024 S1000RR with tune. So we're talking like 210 horsepower versus 140. But that being said, thank you very much, Gary. Appreciate your help. And it still shows to demonstrate what this incredible machine can do. Things, I guess. First of all, isn't this sound just magnificent? And look at the speed that you can carry on this incredible bike. It's so easy to ride. The steering is linear. It's planted in the corners. The power delivery is just right, beautiful from mid-range all the way up top. It really is a great motorcycle. Okay, so one of the things about being up on the mountain, like Al Pacino and Donnie Brasco when he goes, I'm known in all the 5 boroughs. When people know who you are up here and they see you behind, instead of going for a nice ride, usually they just wave you by, much to my dismay. Okay, now a preview of coming attractions. Unbeknownst to me when I made this video, this just landed on my doorstep. So we'll do a video on this in the spring. Stay tuned.